Welcome back to Story Stash. I'm your host Duncan, and these are some of my stories I've written. Today I'm reading from my book Ghost Whisperer, and this is chapter 34. So let's get started. Chapter 34. Monday morning, Ed awoke in his plush bedroom. He did his morning routine, then he left for the family room. Ellen met him there. They hugged. "Did you sleep well, dear?" she asked. "Yes, thanks." Ed was eyeing the coffee pot when his phone rang. "Hello, Ed." "Yes, what's up?" "Officer Ouray here. I just heard some news." "Let me put the phone on speaker so Ellen can hear." He put it on speaker. "Okay, go ahead." "That kidnapper we arrested yesterday, he was found dead in his cell this morning." "Oh, wow," said Ellen. "A death in police custody is unusual, I assume." "It certainly is. I'm glad I'm not in charge of the investigation, or I'd be pretty embarrassed right now." "I'd suspect an inside job." "Me too, but you don't point the finger at your colleagues. I suspect he was silenced to protect others." "Which means there's still a threat. Thank you for the warning." "I don't want to see any harm come to you, Ed. Stay safe." The call ended. Ellen hugged Ed. "Do you want me to increase the security detail?" "I suggest you inform them and let them decide what level is appropriate." "Agreed." Ellen picked up her phone and talked with her head of security. "Done." The ghost of a dead henchman awoke, floating inside a police cell. "What happened?" he said. "You're dead," came a voice from nearby. It sounded familiar. "I'm dead?" "Yes, look around you." The henchman ghost floated and turned around. Another ghost was in the corner staring at him. "Do I know you?" he asked. "I should say so. You killed me and dumped me in the lake." "Okay, now I remember. You're the thief who lost the diamonds. But how did I die?" "You became a liability. The boss had you killed, same as he had me killed." "My memory is a little fuzzy. Do you remember the attorney who visited you last night after they arrested you?" "Yes." "He wasn't there to prepare your defense. The boss sent him to check if you were going to rat him out." "And the boss ordered a hit on me?" "Exactly. Pretty ballsy to do it inside police headquarters. He must have an inside man." "Yeah, so now I'm dead?" "You and me both." "What do we do now?" "You can stay here, or you could accompany me. We both know the boss was the one who called the hit on us." "I think I'll come with you. I'm curious, and I don't want to stay here." "Follow me." The thief ghost and the henchman ghost floated out through the wall. Sarah floated in the air above police headquarters. With the sunrise, commuters drove to work. She sighed. It used to be her driving to work. She had a bright future as a detective. That was all behind her now. Two ghosts floated up toward her, interrupting her thoughts. "Excuse us, but we'd like to talk with you," said one ghost. The one she recalled from yesterday. He was the one she didn't like. "What do you want?" she asked. "I'd like to introduce you to the kidnapper you helped apprehend yesterday. He died in his cell last night." Sarah looked at the second ghost. "You died in police custody? That shouldn't happen." "And yet here I am, dead. They killed me to stop me from talking." Sarah looked shocked. "We were hoping you could help us. We know who killed us. We could tell your friend, and he could tell the police," he said. "Why would you want to do that?" "Revenge. Our former boss had both of us killed. We'd like to see him convicted." "And do you have enough information to convict him?" she asked. "I think so. We know where all the bodies are buried," said the henchman ghost. "In his case, literally. I was more into thieving," said the thief ghost. Although Sarah didn't enjoy the company of criminals, This was a gift that fell into her lap. "Okay, I'll take you to see Ed. You should know, since you kidnapped his niece, he might not be so open to helping you," she said. "Understood." "You better not be messing with me. You get one chance. Be ready to share everything you have." Understood and agreed. Sarah led the two ghosts and they left police headquarters. Around midday, Sarah and the two ghosts arrived at the mansion. They floated into the family room. "Hello, Sarah." "Hey, Ellen, Sarah is here," said Ed. "Pardon this interruption, but I brought two ghosts who'd like to speak with you. It's important." The two ghosts moved forwards, the thief and the henchman. "And who are these?" "One of them helped me locate the kidnapper yesterday. The other is the kidnapper. He died last night," said Sarah. "I heard about that. Died in police custody, no less." "Yes, tricky business. Both are villains, but they want to give evidence on their former employer. It could take a bite out of organized crime." Ed turned to face the two ghosts. "So you want to testify against your boss? You need me to tell the police?" he asked. They both nodded. "Ordinarily, I wouldn't help you two because you kidnapped my niece. Since one of you died in police headquarters, it means your boss is still out there and my family is still at risk," said Ed. They both nodded again. "If I help you, do you have enough information to convict the boss and shut down his organization?" asked Ed. "We do. We promise. Nothing would make us happier than to lock him up and shut down his business," said the thief ghost. Ed turned to Sarah. "I can take it from here. Thank you for bringing them. I'll be glad to leave them in your company. Personally, I'd rather not see them again." Sarah then vanished, leaving Ed and Ellen and two ghosts. "I have to call in a police officer who trusts me. When he arrives, you tell me everything, and I will tell him. Got it?" They both nodded. Ed took out his phone and made a call. Officer Ouray was driving when he got a call from Ed. He pulled over and answered. "Hello, Ed. Please come over to our place. It's urgent. Bring your notebook and pencil." "Okay. I'll be there in 20 minutes. He ended the call and pulled back into traffic. Within 20 minutes, he drove past the front gate and up to the main entrance. Ed stood outside. Officer Ouray got out of his police cruiser. "Were you waiting here for me?" "No, the guard at the front gate called us." They walked inside into the family room. The two ghosts lingered in a corner. Ellen had left. "So, what's this about?" he asked. "That kidnapper who died last night. His ghost arrived this morning with another ghost. Both worked for the same mob boss." "Okay. They want to testify against their former boss. Their testimony is inadmissible as they're dead." "I know that. We're hoping they can give you information that leads to tangible evidence, perhaps enough to convict their boss and shut down his organization." "It sounds like an ambitious project. I'm not a lead detective, and they'll question my sources." "Understood. Do you want to try?" "Well, I'm here now, and I trust you. It will depend on the quality of the information," said Ouray. "Agreed." "Okay, who would like to go first? Remember, it has to be information that leads to evidence. I must repeat what you say to the officer, so if I raise my hand, I want you to pause." "I'll go first," said Henchman Ghost. The ghost told Ed details of a criminal empire with evidence to look for. Ed would raise his hand and repeat it to Ouray. A few hours later, Ouray called for a stop. "Ed, I have a lot here. I need to include some officers I trust on this," he said. "Be careful. The mob boss has some people working in police headquarters. We don't want to warn him." "You're right. Perhaps I should bring in the FBI on this." "Do you know some FBI agents you can trust?" "I know a contact at the CIA," asked Ed. "Frankly, I don't know the FBI. Could you reach out to your contact?" Ed took out his phone and called Noah Johnson. Noah Johnson. This is Ed Tanner, Diamond 940. I have intel on organized crime operating in the Seattle area. It's too hot to share with the police, so I thought of you. Not on an open phone line. Come to my office. I'm bringing a tribal police officer with me. He's working with me on this. All right, I'll see you both soon. The call ended. Ed turned to the officer. We have an appointment at the CIA. Ed then turned to the two ghosts. I guess you could join us, or you can tell me where to find you, he asked. We'd better join you. We don't have a home base anymore. Ed and Officer Ouray walked out to his police cruiser, followed by the two ghosts. I don't enjoy riding in the back of a cruiser, said Henchman Ghost. Well, you can fly there. We're going to an office in the police headquarters building, said Ed. Okay, we'll meet you there. Okay, please drive to police headquarters. Officer Ouray arrived at police headquarters and parked in a section for police vehicles. Ed and Ouray exited the cruiser and walked outside the building. Ed guided him to the Office of U.S. Public Affairs. What's this? Asked Ouray. Well, they don't advertise their real name. Just follow me. Ed noticed the two ghosts had arrived. They floated along behind him. Ed and Ouray walked into the reception area. Hello, Ed Tanner and Officer Ouray to see Noah Johnson, said Ed. Just a moment. She picked up a phone and dialed through. If you'll follow me, sirs. Ed and Ouray followed the receptionist through the security section. Surprisingly, they didn't challenge the tribal police officer for his weapon. The receptionist delivered them to the usual meeting room. Did the ghosts arrive? Asked Ouray. Yes, they're over there. Don't mention them. Ed pointed toward the corner. A few minutes later, Noah Johnson arrived. Hello, Ed. Long time no see. What have you got for me? We've intel on a local organized crime led by a Joey the Beast Barbagallo. As usual, I can't divulge our source, but we've got enough to take down the organization. Really? I've heard of Mr. Barbagallo. What do you have? I had Officer Ouray taking notes. We're concerned this organization has police on their payroll, so we couldn't take it to them. The last person they arrested died last night in police custody. Noah turned to Ouray. Officer Ouray, please read me some of your notes. I need to assess the quality of the intel. Ouray read from his notes, with Noah pausing him to ask questions. Fortunately, his notes had the answers. Finally, Noah stopped him. Officer Ouray, you have a lot of material. I'm going to assign a team to follow up on everything. With enough evidence, the FBI could conduct the arrests. Thank you. The receptionist arrived. Officer Ouray, please go with Miss Lemon to make a copy of your notes. Officer Ouray left with the receptionist. Noah turned to Ed. That was rather impressive intel. If I were to guess, I'd say you have insiders within the organization. Your guess is close. I can't divulge my sources. Your team will need to gather corroborating evidence to back up the intel. You'd make an excellent agent. I don't want to work full-time, but when something comes my way, I'll pass it along to you. For that you have my thanks, the thanks of the CIA and our nation. Soon, Ouray returned. Okay, you have a copy of all my notes. Ed, I must return to work. Can I give you a lift home? He asked. Ed nodded. Noah and Ed stood, and they all walked to the reception area. Take care, Ed. I'll contact you once we make progress, said Noah. Officer Ouray and Ed returned to the parkade, and Officer Ouray drove Ed back home. That day, Joey the Beast Barbagallo received a text message on his burner phone. Our friend had an unfortunate accident and passed away last night in his cell. Also, a clerical error in the police evidence locker has mislaid a certain firearm. He turned to his nearby lackey. See, that's what I'm talking about. He cleaned up the mess. Nothing to lead anyone back to us." "Yes, boss," said the lackey. "Send in my new henchman. I have a job for him. There's a medicine man that's overdue for an unfortunate accident." "Yes, boss." The lackey grinned and scurried away. Ed returned home and sought Ellen. He found her talking with her assistant. "Oh, hello, you're back. Did it go well?" she asked. "Yes, dear. I have some people investigating the source of our recent troubles." "Good. Would you join me for lunch on the terrace in a few minutes? I must finish this first." "Of course, dear." Ed left Ellen and her assistant. He walked to the family room. He checked his phone and saw there was a missed call from his former co-worker, Blake. He called back. "Ed, thank you for calling me back," said Blake. "I just returned home and saw you'd called. What's up?" "I have news. I got hired by Morgan Software and I'm their development lead, which makes me your new manager." "Oh, congratulations, Blake. I'm so glad for you." "So, we have to resume work. Will you be around tomorrow morning for a Zoom conference call? I'll send you the invite." "Yes, I think I'm going to enjoy working remotely. Shorter commute." "Fantastic. Check your email for the invite. I'll see you then." The call ended. It was back to work tomorrow. This was excellent news. Sarah returned to police headquarters, which was her home base. She floated through the offices, looking in on investigations. If she hadn't died, she'd be working here. She visited the office of Ben Rees, who was the lead detective on the case involving the dead henchman and the kidnapping. He sat at his desk going through reports. Ed was like family to Sarah. They'd worked together to solve crimes, rescue kidnapped victims, etc. Ellie was his niece, so was part of her extended family. She had a particular interest in this investigation. She floated in a corner, hoping to see something important. Just then, a detective knocked in the open doorway. "Boss, last night's video for the cells is missing." "That makes sense. Whoever killed him has covered their tracks well." "And there's more. The firearm has gone missing from the evidence lockup." "Crap! Any decent lawyer can challenge the ballistics results. We can't retest to confirm." "Boss, do you want me to check video for the evidence lockup?" asked the detective. "No, it'll be a wild goose chase. Get me the number for that tribal officer, ASAP. I must talk to him. It was his lead that led to the arrest. He seems to know too much." "Yes, sir." The detective scurried off. Sarah wondered about this. Officer Ouray was Ed's connection to the police. He was someone who believed in his abilities and didn't question him. If Ben suspected him of something, that was bad. Soon, the detective returned with a post-it note. Ben sent him away and closed his door before taking out a phone and calling Officer Ouray. "Hey, Officer Ouray, this is Ben Rees, the lead detective on the kidnapping case. I'd like to meet you at the warehouse where we apprehended the kidnapper." Sarah couldn't hear the answer. "Okay, see you there in about 20 minutes. Sarah wondered why they'd meet away from headquarters. Something was off about it. Sarah followed Ben Rees. Ben grabbed his jacket and opened his door. "Hey, I'm going to check out a lead. I'll return in about an hour," he said to another detective. Sarah followed him to the parkade and sat in the back of his cruiser. Ben drove out to the warehouse. Officer Ouray arrived at the warehouse where they'd apprehended the kidnapper and rescued the little girl yesterday. He got out of his police cruiser and walked up to the crime scene tape. The forensics team had done their work and left already. The warehouse was empty. A few minutes later, another police cruiser arrived. Ben Rees stepped out of the vehicle. Unknown to Ben and Ouray, Sarah floated out of the cruiser. This meeting seemed irregular to her. "Officer Ouray, glad you could meet. I'd like you to walk me through this place and show me what happened." "Sure," said Ouray. He didn't understand the need for this, but if it helped. They walked inside. He parked the van here. Ouray gestured to the spot. I understand you got a lead to this location. How did you acquire that lead? Asked Ben. I was attending a Duamish gathering when the kidnapper took the little girl. I understand that. Who gave you the lead to this warehouse? My people are superstitious. They get messages from spirits and they pass them on to me. You claim you got the exact location of this warehouse from the spirits? That sounds suspicious to me. Yes, that's what happened. The spirits of our ancestors. Don't be racist. We're different, but it works. We caught the henchman and saved the little girl. I'm afraid that's not good enough, officer. Your lead was too accurate, which means there's a leak. I need to know where it came from, said Ben. He pulled out his gun and pointed it at Ouray. Detective, what? Why are you pointing a weapon at me? We're on the same team, asked Ouray. Not entirely. I need whoever told you about this warehouse. Sarah realized that the lead detective was playing for the other team. Officer Ouray was soon to join him as a ghost, unless she did something. Sarah touched Ben's gun hand with hers and thought her coldest thought. Suddenly his hand became freezing cold. Unlike the former henchman, he squeezed off a round before the weapon fell from his hand. The bullet hit Ouray in the side. Ouray pulled his gun and returned fire, hitting Ben center mass. Both men fell to the ground. Ouray was still breathing, but Sarah knew he'd bleed out soon. She had to get help. Sarah left the warehouse in a hurry. Wow, that sounds like a cliffhanger for sure. Will Sarah get to help before Ouray bleeds out? You'll have to come back for next episode to find out. And next episode is Chapter 35. Ed contacts the CIA. Someone else tries to find Ed. And more. Come back for that next episode. See you then.